Hey everyone, Golden Ninja 3000 here again. Today I'm reviewing LEGO Eternals set number 76154 Deviant Ambush with 197 pieces. It's got 3 minifigures, it's meant for ages 6 and up, and it retails for $25 in the US. That is, much like the other small Eternals set, a very curious price point. I don't think we've ever seen a Marvel set at $25 at retail. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, though. And the exclusive minifigure here is Gilgamesh, so let's start with him. Gilgamesh is our first South Korean superhero in the MCU, although not our first South Korean character, because that would be Dr. Helen Cho from Avengers Age of Ultron. And contrary to the other Eternals, I actually think that this minifigure looks very, very good. The only problem I have is with his hairpiece. Gilgamesh's hair is a lot shorter cropped in the movie, and it kind of tufts upward at the front, but it's not spiked like this. This would have been a better hairpiece for Sprite if it was in an accurate color. But I really like his torso and leg prints. I just don't love the green. This green seems too bright to me, but I do think LEGO's dark green would be too dark. Part of that problem is the lack of printed arms. Again, if LEGO had printed the arms on these Eternals figures, I think they would look a lot less plain, and Gilgamesh in particular would look less color blocked because his arms do have a lot of gold on them. But like I said, I like the circular designs, and I really, really love the new molds for those fists. His superpower is being able to form an exoskeleton, a cosmic energy exoskeleton around his hands. And I think that these new molds look really, really cool. The cosmic energy is the wrong color because it's kind of a light gold in the movie, whereas LEGO has it as a transparent orange. So these are dual molded with pearl gold and transparent orange, but it still looks amazing. And those slot over a minifigure's hands just like any other glove piece. And I just think that that's a really, really nice mold, and I'm glad that LEGO invested in making that. But I don't think it was super necessary. He could have just used the existing glove piece, and they could have put some of that budget towards making some of these figures better. He does have a new face print, though. That's part of why he's better than the other figures, and this looks pretty good. I don't know if he's going to be this smiley in the movie, but this alternate face seems to be, spot on for him, and I do really like that back printing as well. Makkari is our first deaf superhero in the MCU, and she's also only, our third speedster. Hopefully she doesn't die like the first two. And I have her posed in a little running position here because I think that this just looks perfect for her. She has trans orange power blasts, and they just really, really help to give, that illusion of speed while she's running. And I mean, if you can tell already, speed is her superpower. I guess she just uses cosmic energy to run really fast. And because she's deaf, that means that she doesn't hear when, she breaks the sound barrier. And I think that that's a really cool way to tie that aspect of her character into her powers. Here's a closer look at the figure. I do really like her torso and leg print. I think that she's one of the more boring Eternals figures, though, just because, she just has a plain gray body. And then I don't think the red arms are as bad on her. I love her costume in the movie. I just think that other minifigures are more interesting because they use less common colors as a base instead of this light gray. That's not to say she looks bad, though. She still looks really, really cool. And of course, the printed legs are very nice. She also gets a brand new hair mold that was developed just for her. Yes, this was in LEGO City sets this summer before the Eternals ones came out, but this was developed for Makkari. You can tell in the way that the hairpiece was molded, and also the sets were supposed to come out in October 2020. So she has two kind of trails of hair. They fly out behind her when she runs, but they're molded together on the LEGO piece. And this is just a wonderfully textured mold. I really, really like it when we get exclusive hair molds, especially for characters of color, because they are just really, really nicely done. She's got some cool back printing as well, and I think her face is okay. It is reused from MJ from the Spider-Man sets, but you know what? I don't think that there's any other face that LEGO could have picked that would have worked, and it looks enough like the actress. I'm actually pretty impressed with how much it looks like Lauren Ridloff, so I'm happy with that. Thena is one of my most anticipated characters for the movie. I really, really want to see what she's all about. But she is definitely my least favorite minifigure in the LEGO sets. So first of all, her spear, Thena does so her superpower is that she creates handheld weapons, any handheld weapon that she wants out of cosmic energy. In the trailers, we've seen her using a spear. It obviously doesn't look like this. This is a piece from Ninjago, but this is a fine approximation. But the thing is that she's also always accompanied with a shield. So points off like immediately for not having the shield. That could be a concept art issue, but she's literally using the shield with the spear like every single time in the movie, like from what we can tell from the trailers. So I really think that LEGO would have known about it and they should have included a shield for her. But my other problem is her face and hair. That is my problem with most of these figures, yes, but especially so on Thena. This hairpiece is overused, like to hell and back. I absolutely hate it. I am sick of it, and LEGO needs to just make a new mold because it's ridiculous at this point. Thena has hair that parts in the middle and goes over her shoulders. She does not have a side part. Like it's just not her hair. And I don't understand why LEGO keeps slapping this stupid hairpiece on like every single female minifigure. So I'm really, really sick of it. And the other thing is the face. This is Mantis's face from Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, I understand that Angelina Jolie has really prominent cheekbones, so they wanted to use a face with prominent cheekbones. And I don't think that this face looks too bad, but the alternate face with her screaming, I think that that looks really bad. That looks more like Palm Clementieff, the actress that plays Mantis, than Angelina Jolie. And side note, Thena does have some nice back printing. But the biggest problem here is that she doesn't have her tiara. I mean, like, that's Thena's thing. Like, she has her tiara, and that's like a huge part of like her character design, at least to me. Like the tiara, this like the spear, the shield, she's kind of like Marvel's Wonder Woman. So I'm really, really annoyed that LEGO couldn't make a new face print for her. Like, why make the minifigure if it's going to be this inaccurate? So that annoys me, because I do appreciate that all of the characters that got new face prints in the Eternal sets are like for actors of color. And that's wonderful to see, and I wouldn't take a new face print away from any of them, but Thena should have had a new face print. So the budget should have just been raised a bit to give Thena a new face print, because this is inexcusable, in my opinion. That being said, her torso and leg printing is very, very nice. I really love, all of the little circles that are present across all of these designs, and I particularly like her leg printing. I think that that looks really good, and you can probably swap it out on like other custom characters too. But to me, this figure is just terrible because of the problems with the face and hair. And I mean, I just don't know why LEGO keeps doing this. Like, they keep reusing the faces of other minifigures in the same franchise, and that's annoying. The hair is annoying. The inaccuracy is annoying, and they just need to do better. This is the Deviant that half of the team fights outside the Ishtar Gate of Babylon. We've seen it quite a bit in the trailers, and I have to say, this seems very accurate to what we've seen. I'll talk about that more in a little bit, but I'm just really, really happy with how it turned out. So you can see it's kind of almost got like a gorilla-like stance, because it's got like these big arms that like come down so it can walk on like 6 legs, because it also has these 4 spindly legs back here. I really love, these designs for the Deviants, like kind of sinewy, like tendril-y look, but I hate that they're all stickers. I mean, again, asking for prints, I get that that's too much. You know what? I wouldn't have complained if there were so many stickers in all of these Eternal sets if the minifigures were better. But repeating designs like this, it would have been nice if those were printed, just because it gets annoying to put so many stickers on. Thankfully, the eyes on the head are printed, and that looks really good. But I guess I should stop jumping around so much. So let's concentrate on the legs. These guys are on little Mixel-style ball joints, as are the ones at the back. Don't know why I said that like they were different. And we've got more of these satin black, like sword pieces. These look really good. I love this color, and I just like this piece in general. I think it gives a really nice look for the Deviants, and it does hinder articulation a little bit, but it's pretty easy to rotate them out of the way. Underneath, you can see you've got like this teal kind of mudguard piece, and you do have some nice like rocky detailing, so I really like the way that these arms are built. At the back, like I said, you've got these 4 spindly little legs. I don't even know if he can stand up on all of these, but we'll try at the end. I do like their shape, though. I think that they've got a really attractive curve between like these red cutout pieces and then those newer style macaroni pieces in teal. And then the Deviant just has the smallest little feet on like the end of them. I think it's like really cute, actually, these legs. And they are like identical. Just mirrored builds. At the back, you've got this little like wedge piece, and then this little like rock piece, I guess, is meant to be almost like a shaggy little tail. And you do have some studs up here. So if you wanted to make an Eternal ride the Deviant, you could. You do have more of these satin black sword pieces, and you can adjust these a bit. I think from what we've seen in the trailers, these are just like kind of flowing spikes on top of its body, but it's still nice that you can get different looks out of that. As for the head, like I said, the eyes are printed. These two on top are stickers. That one was kind of annoying to put on. I don't love those. It's got these little horns off on its head, and this is the part that's most inaccurate to the movie. Like, here, I'll kind of try to position this guy well and then put up a picture of the beast from the trailers. So you can see that it looks enough like it does in the movie, but I just think that its head could have done with a little bit more work. It has much more like impressive curling horns in the movie. But again, could be a concept art issue, and LEGO got the horns, so it's really, really a nitpick. I do like how you've kind of got a suggestion of nostrils at the front by just putting this wedge piece in between like these open studs. That's really nice. And then you do have, again, the smallest, cutest little mouth that's just on one of those riot shield pieces from Star Wars. And yeah, I think there's a lot of things about this Deviant that are just kind of dainty and cute, even though it's still like a giant, like raging murderous monster. Now for articulation, let's see if we can actually get it to stand up on these little legs at the back. I don't have high hopes, especially because I forgot that it will only have to stand up on 2 because things can't stand up on like 4 legs. Let me try some things out. Okay, well, so standing didn't work, at least the first attempt, but it can sit, and I think that that's still, again, a cute look. It looks like a bug, like demon monster. I don't know. But hey, it can sit, so that's kind of successful. Okay, so if you just raise its little insect hind legs a bit, you can get it to kind of stand. I mean, again, it kind of looks like a water bug in this position. Like, it looks like you could just plop it in the water and this would be like a water bug. But again, I don't really count this as standing. I count it as just like sitting up. But I mean, it's still a funny pose. I didn't think that you could get this thing into so many funny poses. I don't think you're going to be able to get it to stand up. These legs are just too small. There's not enough surface area. Like, even if the feet were bigger, but I just don't really know how to distribute the weight to get this thing to stand up on like these little like toes that are so tiny. So let's give it one last shot. But yeah, it's just gonna go down. So it can't stand up, but you can get some good sitting poses, and other than that, its regular like kind of gorilla galloping look is pretty decent. Here are the extra pieces. We've actually got 2 of these like satin trans black like sword pieces left over. It makes me wonder if I left one off, but I don't think I did. I think it would be fairly obvious if I had. Like I said in my first review, I love the box art for these sets, and it's really much easier to appreciate it on a larger box. This is a standard $20 box size, and you've got the really nice art of Babylon in the background, although this fight actually takes place outside the gates, not like inside the city. And you've got all the Eternals here in the corner. My favorite part is the art of them on the side. I think that looks fantastic, although again, Thena's face looks extremely stupid. Here's the back of the box showing like some different poses that you can get with this guy. And again, more of that beautiful Babylon artwork. I'm keeping all of these boxes because I love it so much. And just before we move on, I want to illustrate the problem with Thena. I mean, because this box art is just really, really easy to do that on. So that's what Thena looks like in the movie. And here's Thena in the set. Wrong hair, wrong face, no crown. It's just, again, it's just bad. The instruction manual is pretty much exactly what you expect, except this time, at the back of the manual, we have an ad for the other Eternal sets, not the 2020 other Marvel superhero sets. So this ad looks really, really cool, and if this doesn't make you want to buy all 4 sets, I don't know what will. So overall, I'm kind of torn on this set, because this costs $25 versus the usual $20 price point for Marvel sets, and I think that that's kind of a terrible price for this set. There's not a lot of pieces here. There's not a lot of mass to the finished thing. Like, the densest it gets is in like those gorilla arms. Like, I was kind of surprised. Like, you can see how thin and like nothingness the body is. So to have this be $25 is kind of insane in my opinion. This should have definitely been a $20 set. And if this was a $20 set, I would be giving it like a rave review. I'd be like, perfect. Like, forget my problems with the minifigures. For $20, go out and buy it. But, I mean, I can't say that because the minifigures do have issues. Not so much Gilgamesh and Makari. Like I said, Gilgamesh's hairpiece could have been better, but that's not the end of the world. Thena is where the problem lies. How is this set $25 and yet she doesn't have at least a good face print? Forget the hair. LEGO's not going to make a new hair mold anytime soon. Whatever, they should, but, I mean, I can't control them. But a new face print? Like, what in this set warrants $25? Are you telling me that leg printing and 2 new molds raised this set to $25 because, yes, I love the new molds, don't get me wrong, but I would have taken in a heartbeat no new mold for the fists and a new hair mold for female minifigures and a new face print for Thena. So I don't know why this set is $25. I really think that the smaller set should be 15 instead of 10, and this one should be 20 instead of 25, and that really would have evened out some of the price discrepancies, I think, with these sets, and it would have given you more budget to, like make the minifigures a little bit better. So I would still recommend getting it if you want, like a good sized Deviant army, because this is, I think, my second favorite Deviant build after Crow. So I'd recommend it on that count. But and I mean, Gilgamesh is a cool minifigure, but as far as exclusive minifigures go, I do like the exclusives in the larger sets better than him. So, just bear that in mind when you're making your decision. So that's it for today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and check out my website, goldenninja3000.com, and I'll see you guys with more videos soon. Bye for now.